Hello and welcome to week 10 of PA124 last week. There are a couple things that are due this week, and remember, it is all due to me by Thursday at midnight. I don't have any extra room on that because I have to then turn in grades by Friday at noon. I do want to give you the last chapter in your English book is chapter 12. You will need to go over that before you take your final exam because there are some questions that come out right from it. There is nothing due, so you don't have an assignment that's due from chapter 12, but I do want you to go through chapter 12 and read it before you take your final exam. So it's about capitalization and numbers. And so it's talking about where do you capitalize, what's capitalized, first words, in between titles, names of people, what type of addresses, where is it, family titles, religious references. Make sure you hit those because on your final exam it'll say, is this correct? Is this sentence correct? Or tell me how to do capitalization here or there. So make sure you look at that. And then just briefly go through the numbers just so that you're on top of it and that you know where to look back at. There's not a lot on the final exam with numbers. I'm just going to be honest with you on that. So please don't waste a lot of your time on that. But I do want to get to the final exam and the housekeeping of what needs to happen this last week before Thursday at midnight. And I wrote it down here, so let me just get that out for you. So you have this final exam. It is worth 20% of your grade. So it's not something that just needs to be taken lightly. You really do need to take your time on it. And by time, I mean you have 4 hours to take the exam. Take your time. Do not rush through it. Make sure you have your book right beside you and that you're going back from chapter 1 through chapter 12. Everything can be on it. I will tell you, there is no punctuation on the exam. So you don't have to go through a sentence and put a punctuation sign on there. You may have to say, is this punctuation true or false? Correct? But you don't have to put punctuation within the sentence. I know some of you were a little bit stressed out about that when you turned in the assignment, but that is not on the final exam, so don't worry about that. It is worth 200 points. It is 20% of your grade. It's 80 questions, 2.5 points apiece. So take your time, 4 hours to take it. Also, just quick before we review what's on the exam, your surveys, I did not put a due date on them, and so I'm not sure if you were able to see that they were due this week, but go ahead and take them in this final week and email me when you did for that 10 extra credit points. I'm not sure it even showed up that it was due for you, but yes, it was due. So I've opened it and extended it till Thursday at midnight. So the survey needs to be done and your final exam needs to be done. Okay, and then just reviewing that chapter 12 before you take your final exam. So things on your exam: adverbs, prepositions, nouns, things that we have basically talked about in this from the book in these lectures. That will be on your final exam. It wants you to point out plural and singular words. So it'll give you a sentence. It'll ask, does take or takes fit here if it was plural? And then you pick between those two words. Or it'll give you 4 words of how to punctuate them and putting the right plural in there or the right singular in there. So plural and singular nouns, plural and singular adverbs, that kind of stuff. So make sure that you can look back on those and really know what those are about before you go in to take the final exam. So review first and then also use your book in that final exam so that you have plenty of time and plenty of knowledge behind that subject so that you get all the points that you need. It is a 200-point final exam, so excuse me. The other thing on there, capitalization, I talked about that, which is in your chapter 12. Make sure you do chapter 12 before you take your final exam, just so that you have all the knowledge you need to, and then you can run through that I don't expect you to take 4 hours, but make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to do that. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to answer them. Remember, Thursday at midnight is your deadline. I don't have a lot of wiggle room on that at all because grades are due for me Friday at noon. So make sure everything is turned in to me. Hope you have a great week. Let me know if you have any questions and talk with you soon.